Oh, that was a long walk to the stage. Must have been 2 seconds, but it honestly felt like about a second and a half. I'm tired now. Still, my name is Frank Avocado O'Connor, and lots of new faces in tonight, which is always good to see. Even though in this case technically it's because none of us have ever been here before. Officially that is. Unofficially some of us were here last week. For non-comedians, this is a new room for us, and when we go to a new room we like to kind of go there, in advance and absorb the room, and what we do is we call it exposing ourselves to the room. We go on stage and we try it out, we expose ourselves and we see how the room reacts. It's basically what Harvey Weinstein does, except with more jokes. So, what was my next bit? Oh yeah, right, now, so we're here in official capacity, so I just want to lay down some ground rules first of all, so everyone knows where they stand. So this is the ground, that's the ceiling, that's a sign. That, for those who can see, is a kind of shelf for a giant to leave their glasses on when they're finished drinking. I have no idea what that is. Paolo mentioned imaginary friends, and when I was a child, I went through that phase. I had an imaginary friend as a child. His name was Keith, and he was a 32-year-old technical architect from Palmerstown. He was real, of course. I just imagined he was my friend. He would get so annoyed when I turned up at his house every day and say, "Who the fuck are you, you weird kid? Just go away and leave me alone." And then, of course, the police got involved, and then therapists, and then naturally there's the endless cycles of depression and drug addiction and drinking, which went on for years and years and years and years, until this morning. And this morning, I woke up. It was a beautiful sunrise, the birds were singing, and I realised for the first time I'd woken up a completely new man. His name was Barry. He's Keith's brother. He was saying things like, "It's 6:30. Fuck off out of my bedroom, what are you doing?" So I said, "Look, Barry, I'm a man like you. I'm a simple man. A man with a dream." And he looked at me and said, "How did you know I had a dream?" I said, "Well, I didn't." And he said, "Well, I did have a dream. It was a nightmare. It was a dream of a film. It's my favourite film. I watch it every night and then I dream about it. It's called The Human Centipede. You ever heard of it?" And I said, "Well, no." I was kind of backing out of the room. And he said, No, don't worry. In this case, right, I dreamed the film, but it was remade by Disney as a cartoon. And all the humans were replaced by dachshunds. And in my dream, I just saw this line of dachshunds. And I came closer, I sort of moved in, I floated in closer to this line of dachshunds. And I got to the dachshund at the very end of the line. And I looked into his face. And I got closer and looked at his eyes. And he was looking up at me with a kind of mixture of reverence and pity. And I got closer and closer. And then, in my dream, the dachshund spoke to me. He spoke to me and he said these words. Words I can never forget, and I just have to tell you. And what he said was, and I didn't know what to say to that. So I said, "Well, Barry, I guess you must stand up for the underdog then." And he said, "No, I'm really more of a cat person." So I said, "You stand up for the undercat then, do you? How do you do that?" And he said, "Well, it's really easy. If you just put a cat on a low shelf and you can reach it with your tongue." And I said, "Right, okay, thanks for that. I'll see you later." And I went out after that experience and I decided, I'll go and see my own film. I'll go and see a film. I went to see a film, it's just out. It's been made in Dublin with Signori Weaver. It's a remake of an old film that's set in Dublin. It's called Clongriffin In The Mist. It's a great film, and Signori, she goes up to Clongriffin. She's looking for the Clongriffins, and they don't want to come out. They don't want anything to do with her, so she coaxes them out. She coaxes them out with bags of cans and pizza boxes. They gradually come out. She befriends them and trains them to fight against the evil water charges. It's a brilliant film. I won't spoil the ending for you, but you have to see it. You have to see it. What else have I got? Let me just see if I've got one more bit to fill in the time. Oh yeah, I got a new bit. So I'll just try it out as my last bit. It's called If James Joyce was a marketing assistant in a bookshop selling new books that he had to write every month. The first month he has to write a book about cooking. It's called Portrait of an Artist as a Young Flan. Then he has to write a book about sexual problems in the agricultural industry. That's called Portrait of the Artist as a Hung Lamb. Then he has to write about controversy with celebrity chefs, and that's called Portrait of the Artist as a Flung Pan. And finally he has to write about corruption and problems in the medical industry, which is called Portrait of the Artist as a Lung Dam. Thank you very much.